Oh boy, it's getting windy. Woo! Uh-oh. As you can see, I'm working on a piece here. Up until I just recently kind of fucked it up on purpose. It felt perfect, but too perfect. You know what I'm saying? Let's just jump into this. I like wearing gloves a lot. Because despite touching paint all the time and having it on my body all the time, I don't like the feeling of it on my hands. So I go through a lot of gloves because of that. There's just a lot of things I don't like the feeling of on my hands, and so I use gloves. So I'm going in here with my highlights first, and then I'm going to darken things a little bit. I'm trying to maintain a balance between painting from instinct and emotionally, but then also working into a more cohesive vision, I guess. Keeping the rhythm, but then condensing it into something more legible, and maybe more intentional, if that makes sense. You know, it's so funny. I never thought light pink would become like my most used color, but it by far is. Damn. My gloves are now covered. Now we go no gloves. We're also coming up on 10 minutes to an hour before I have to cook today, which means that I will have to lay down for an hour so I can be good. But alas, this is just the painting video. Let's talk here. I really think that one of the hardest parts about making this video is going to be figuring out how to stitch these two things together seamlessly. I probably won't nail it the first time, but I'll try until I do. I usually go for very sharp and angular faces, and this time I'm trying to do, I guess I'm not really trying, it's just sort of the shape that showed up, but I'm doing a circular head. So it's a little bit different for me to work on proportions like these, but it's important. I'm too early on in my painting journey to lock myself into into any one thing. I don't think you're ever at a good time to lock yourself into any one thing, for the record, but I feel like listening to myself talk, I sound a lot more tired than usual, and I am a lot more tired than usual. So I apologize if that is less engaging or something like that. But I am getting my feet underneath me again. Oh man. I got paint on my pants. I've had many people say, why don't you just get a pair of clothes that you paint in, and then that's, you know, that way you don't get all paint all over everything. And first, that is a good idea. I agree. But personally, I would much rather wear whatever clothes I want and then paint whenever I want, and not have to go through the extra mental step of remembering to change my clothes. I think for me, it's very much about reducing executive functioning load. Oh, God. See, it's quite good, but it's not there. Maybe it just needs to have the paint dry. I like the asymmetry in the figure. I modeled the shoulders initially off after my son's shoulders, just because like I can so vividly feel like the curvature of his shoulder. So it's the easiest one for me to think about. But this one I tried to sort of like boxify out, if that makes any sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm realizing that the eyes and the lips need refinement. That's really a big part of this. And the forehead might need slight elongating. Oh shit, I got an improvised footstool. How are you doing, my friends? It's been a long time since I've been recording, or since I've recorded. It's been about 2 weeks now. It's kind of the benefit of doing these sort of 9 days apart, the way that I've been doing them. It gives me time to rest and recover should anything happen. Which it did, but we'll get into that later. It seems we have a cat that's joining us. Hi, Harley. How you doing, Harley? Good cat. So this is Harley. This is our cat. She has been an indoor cat for a very long time, but very recently, we felt bad for having them just be inside all the time, and they've escaped a couple times. They never go far, so we're like, you know what? Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's give them the freedom to roam around. So now we have some indoor-outdoor cats. But let's jump into quick talking about the painting here before we talk about anything else. So right off the bat, I would say that I'm very proud of my application of texture and color and the layering on this piece, and sort of like the glow and the way that it carries the intended emotion. I'm all very happy about. I think I may have committed to the form a little bit too early, just in that I tend to not like head-on shots, just because they can feel a little bit boring. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that, because I don't know, I'm sort of always like going back and forth. Sweet Harley. She loves just rolling around in the dirt. And yeah, I was honestly nervous about having the cats be like out and about, but honestly they just kind of chill around the house. They don't go too far. Oh boy, it's getting windy. Woo! Uh-oh. That was perfect timing of that. The painting's okay, which is crazy because there's wet paint and it landed on its face. The universe had our backs on that one. All right, 1 second. I'm gonna put this down. We're gonna figure this out. All right, I think the solution is gonna be to station myself closer to this thing, to prevent any more, any more of that getting kind of blown away while I'm sitting here talking. Let me just recheck the frame really quick. Watch it gets blown away while I'm gone. All right, guys, you got to tell me if it's going to blow away next time, and I'll try to save it. So I'm happy with, I think, the technicality of this. I think the form is, I think in the future I would maybe approach it a little bit differently, but overall solid piece. I'm really happy about it. One thing that I'm noticing right now is So you notice, if you've watched this channel, you know that I paint over my paintings constantly. But my style has sort of evolved a little bit to become more purposefully textured, which is good, but that means there's going to be a hell of a lot of texture to paint over if I ever have to paint over these. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but if it does, we'll figure it out. There's already texture before on shit that I painted, and it comes through, but I think it's part of the evolution of the piece, and it shows part of the evolution of my art itself. So this week, though, let's talk a little bit about the context behind the week. So after I released the last video, which was close to 2 weeks ago today, or no, I think today, no, it wasn't 2 weeks ago. I think I recorded like 2 weeks ago. It was released like less than a week ago. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so when I recorded that, things were going pretty good. I think I was kind of coming out of a chaotic week, but I didn't give myself enough time to recover. And let me just check something real quick. I didn't give myself enough time to recover from that crazy week. And then what happened then is it led to a week of hell, basically. Not like actual, I mean, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it was a very uncomfortable week this past week, because I had to, in order to prevent myself from waking up in the middle of the night to these FND things, I have to lay down, and from like, I shit you not, like 11 a.m. till like 2 or 3 p.m. And I can't sleep during that time because that's when I'm most energized. So I just have to lay down. And when I'm laying down, I've started doing like more sketching and stuff because I can actually do that from that position. But man, it's so hard to not fall into those, like, the doom scrolling. You know what I'm saying? You gotta really consciously be like, nope, phone off, in a drawer. We're gonna lay here and stare at the ceiling. Maybe listen to some music or something. Sketch something. I don't know. Something productive. So that's kind of what I've been battling this week. Is just like not trying not to be addicted to my phone. I think that's a struggle that a lot of people can probably relate to right now. Looks like the wind's picking up just a little bit, so I'm going to put my hand on this so we don't have a repeat of the beginning of this video. I knew it would happen because I had set up in the alley between my house and garage, and because I thought that would be an interesting shot, but the light wasn't hitting it right. But regardless, it blew over while it was over there, and it's in the same like sort of orientation, so why wouldn't it blow over here? I was fully aware of that before I set it up here, but I don't really feel like going too far today, so that's why I'm coming to you live from the driveway. A little bit scatterbrained right now, as you can probably tell. Probably all of the doom scrolling that I've been trying to avoid. There's some specific things that I've been wanting to talk to you guys about that I've been kind of brewing on for a while. And it's interesting because I think of them and like they're just these like one-liner statements, and it's like that's not how I want to say it, because nothing is that simple. I want to actually explore the concept of it, but then I just think of it and it's these one-liner statements. And they're statements that I've made. They're not like just repeating something that other people have said. So it's not just like it's an unoriginal thought that keeps looping or something like that. But it's like, when you ever take a math test and you're pretty good at it, but you don't really know why, and you just answer the question and the teacher is like, you gotta show your work. I don't care if you got the right answer, you gotta show your work. That's how it kind of feels right now. I just, like today, I guess I was thinking about this, that I feel like painting specifically, well, there's two concepts I'd like to touch on. Okay, so one being that first, like if you talking about things as identities, which is not an original thing. I'm sure I know that other people have talked about this before, but like I hear people saying like, I'm a vegetarian, I'm a vegan, I'm a conservative, I'm a liberal, I'm a whatever you want to say, I'm an artist even. And it's like when you assign yourself those labels, you tend to start doing things that support that label subconsciously, regardless of your, maybe your intent not to. But I'm not saying, I say the royal you, not you specifically through the screen, but just thinking about this in general. Yeah. Oh, then the other thing that I wanted to, we'll loop back to that at some point, but the other thing that I wanted to talk about was that in painting specifically, and honestly, I'm sure like a lot of different other art forms, I think, now this is not to diminish the importance of craft, but I think taste is more important than the ability to put canvas or paint on a canvas. Of course, I'm biased in that because I don't have like, traditional skills or whatever like that I've practiced. But I look at like some of my favorite art that I've found, and sure, some of it is like incredible in terms of technique. Like I love the old masters, love a Caravaggio, Da Vinci, and Van Gogh. And the thing about Van Gogh, I don't know if we could put him in the same technical realm as like when I'm talking pure craft, as like the Michelangelo and Da Vinci and Caravaggio and those people, just because what they did was so insane. But what Van Gogh did was not necessarily in the craft of painting, but in taste, which is infusing the scene itself with emotion and using color and suggestion, perhaps exaggerated features. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, my point is that while I very do appreciate the old masters, I very much do appreciate the craft of painting itself, and I respect the hell out of it when I see it in real life, especially like the people that can do just like real realism. It's like, holy shit, how do you even begin to do that? That's the precision needed behind that is something that I don't know, it blows my mind. But when I look at my personal favorite art that I see, it's because it makes me feel something, or maybe it just grabs my eye or something like that, and that's not really tied to the technique or the skill of the individual artist, but rather the taste of the artist. Like I love Picasso and I love Basquiat. I think those are probably my two favorite painters. And Picasso obviously was a master in his craft. Like, there's no doubt about that. He was a prodigy by the time he was like 5 or something like that. But and again, Basquiat had incredible skill, but it's not. I hope you can see where I'm coming from here. It's a hard thing. I'm still just a little bit like sensitive to sensory input and stress. And so I think I'm just my body's maybe a little bit uncomfortable while doing this. And so I think it's making it a little bit harder than usual to think through my processes, because I keep getting distracted by how my body feels. And that's probably also the body language that you're seeing right now. Just my leg crossed over in front of you and my arms crossed like this. I think it's a very protective pose. But it feels comfortable right now. So I'm going to do it until I stop feeling comfortable. I have been very into the earth tones lately. I'm trying to... in the past, I've relied heavily on very intense colors for impact in my work. And right now what I'm trying to do is to pare that down and condense the intent down into purposeful choices, and make sure that every single mark is there because it needs to be there. And I think I've harped on this in my videos, because as soon as I say that, I can hear like 4 different videos I've sent that in. But I think I'm getting closer in this. And now I know that, like, when you look at it, there's things that are outside of the lines, and there's things that are kind of imperfect. But I will promise you that every single bit of paint that you're seeing on this is there completely intentionally. Like, there wasn't anything that I did on this just because I was just going and just wanted to keep painting or something like that. Ooh, let's hold on to the painting so it doesn't become a fucking sale. The name of this, I usually don't name my pieces because I feel like we're making art to express something that words can't really express. So why are we trying to assign a single word to it? That's crazy. Like, if a picture says 1,000 words, why are we trying to assign one to the whole thing? It doesn't make sense to me, so I don't name my pieces. But this one I named because I was listening to a song as I had sort of the final breakthrough in the piece, and that is Toki. It's a Japanese word. It's a song by Taiko Onuki. I don't know how to pronounce Japanese words or names, but it's an old Japanese city pop song. And while I was working on this piece, I was listening to that song, and something about, like, the freedom and that sort of let me just be like, you know what, fuck this. Because I had so tightly refined every edge in it at the very beginning that it just felt lifeless, but I couldn't figure out why. It was like, it was perfect, but it was too perfect. It was not visually interesting. It wasn't even emotionally interesting. It just was what it was. And so I just kind of kept going on it. And during that song is when I made the breakthrough that really, like, took it from something that was, maybe technically good to this. And listen, technically good is relative, I know. I'm sure some of you watching this could paint much better than I can traditionally. I'm very sure of that. But I hope you know what I mean when I talk about technically. The technicalities of my system, specifically, is what I'm talking about when I say that. Man, it's interesting. I'm sitting here and I just sort of, take a breath for a second, ask myself how I feel right now. And I feel good. I want to keep doing this. I just like sitting here and recording these, which is interesting. Yeah, and my body stress reflects that too. I was like, because at first, in the first maybe 10-15 minutes of the video, the body stress was actually pretty high. and you could probably tell that I was settling into the flow of talking about this. But now it's just kind of comfortable. Man, I have one paintbrush that makes a much better microphone, but unfortunately I use all of my paintbrushes, so it's not always available. Sometimes it's wet and covered in paint, like right now. This is a good second though. It just keeps sort of like kind of tilting to the side. But it's got nice stiff bristles in it, and it is almost the full width of the clip, so it works pretty well. Works good enough to get us through today. Man, I wonder where the cat went. Must have scared her off when when that painting flew over. I'm still astonished that none of the wet paint on this piece got fucked up when it landed face down. That's got to be a sign for something. The most interesting bird call just came. What was I talking about? It is so quiet right now. I think we're probably going to get, I don't even know. I was going to say, I think we're probably going to get a storm because it feels like sort of on the edge of that, but I think we're probably not, honestly, because if I look up, it looks just more hazy and overcast than it looks like anything that's dense and ready to drop something. Sorry, that was probably really loud. I'll cut that out. Is there anything else I wanted to cover on this piece? This continues the dark background series that I am currently working on. This one is not as strict as some of the other ones have been. There's different colors mixed into it, but it still is sort of in that line. My goal is to accumulate something like 15 to 20 of these before I really decide how much further I want to go or what I want to do with them. But I think right now it's important for me to keep working on the series and just keep refining the stuff that I'm working on right now to not only like provide sort of a codex of visual language, but also just refine, like strengthen my ability to paint and push the craft a little bit further, you know. Hi, Harley. Found the cat. She's right on the driveway. So this week is going to be a very interesting video because I'm trying something new where I'm taking the painting while talking and mixing it with just the pure outdoor monologue. Both of my preferred styles, and seeing how that kind of mixes together. This could not work, and it could be terrible, but I'll probably still try it a few more times to make sure that I do the project justice before saying that it's not worth pursuing. But I could nail it the first time because I'm awesome. No, I'm just kidding. That was very cringy. Hi, cat. Alright, we got a cat. You have anything to say, Harley? Yeah, she's a very sweet cat. Jeez, let's hold down this painting so it doesn't fly away. Is Harley the bringer of the wind? Is that what this is? The wind, I swear, anytime she comes around, she just picks way up. Now I'm kind of cold. Thank God I have her on my lap. It's helping warm me up a little bit. It's a very overcast, kind of late September day here. I don't know if this will come out in October or in September. I don't know how many days there are in September. If there's 31, it'll probably come out in September. Luckily, my videos are pretty easy to edit together. Man, We have a sewage pipe that is designed to allow people with RVs to drain their tanks or whatever. And a plow driver hit it and broke it, and then charged us extra because of it. That's why we do our own plowing now. You're such a sweetheart. She's such a lovely cat. She scratches your legs a lot, so it makes it hard to focus on anything. Alright, so I have talked about everything I want to talk about in terms of my painting. In terms of personal life, it's been very much of the same. Oh, I've been playing Rock Band 2 recently. My mom sent me a PS3 with Rock Band and the controllers. So I've been playing Rock Band 2 like crazy. Well, not really like crazy. I say like crazy. I've been playing it a total of probably 2 to 3 hours over 4 to 5 days. So not really a whole lot, but as much as I can handle. Because for some reason, playing that game puts my body under immense stress. Because you're just like, I can't miss a note. I'm not good at it. I have to play the drums on easy and I have to play guitar on medium. But it is a very fun game. And like, if you can't calm down, it's a good like way to spike things and then sort of be able to settle down again later. Sort of like a factory reset. Man, this video is going crazy. It's everything's dropping, everything's flying everywhere. Cats are scratching my leg. It's crazy. Crazy. Yeah, I've been playing Rock Band 2, I've been playing Jack 2 on the PS2. In terms of album of the week this week, I have not forgotten about that. It's my album of the week this week. My album of the week this week is the video game Rock Band 2. I would very much recommend it if you haven't played it. Although I have no idea what the availability of those controllers is like anymore in PS3 games and stuff like that. It's just, very luckily, my mom still had it at her house, so she just sent it all to me. That said, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I hope you enjoyed the new attempt at a video format. Look forward to me refining this in the future. And I will see you next week. Peace. Sweet. Oh, I hope that was recorded.